All right, so this is Diesel We the People News. I am not an attorney, so I cannot give legal advice. Do not take it as such. However, I can and will give my opinions at times. Okay? No more, no less. All right, I never look just straight forward. I always look all around me to be able to protect myself by any means necessary. This video is more of a learning video of thinking outside the box, people. All right? Excuse me. All right, so this video came off the police control. However, it's mirrored off of News Now Houston and or News Now Community, which is one of the best auditors out there, okay, by my opinion. Speaking of which, since I'm on here, I haven't watched the whole thing, but I do know I've seen this before. So I'm going to give this guy a thumbs up for promoting it out there. All right. So go out to him and check out some mixtures of auditors that, doesn't consist of one basic story. You get all the different type of auditors out there and find the ones that you in line with. Okay? So again, this is educational purposes. So anything I say, it's just my opinion. And for you to think outside the box for your educational purposes only. Okay? Always do your own research, people. Everything else is just hearsay. What I'm telling you is hearsay. All right? What this cop's saying, hearsay. What your attorneys are saying, hearsay. Why? Because you did not research it for yourself. You are tacitly agreeing with everybody here. All right? So, take it as you wish. Let's go ahead and go. Check this out. Sorry.
If you refuse to do so, that's your business. Okay.
If you want to have the FBI come out here and do a field interview with me, you go call them, tell them to get their ass over here.
Well, we're on the phone now to see to determine if we, and there's no need to cuss me, sir.
Okay.
I'm just doing my job.
I'm sorry.
Because here's the thing. Guess what you just did? You just now used vulgar, profane, and indecent language in view of the public, which is her. She's part of the public, which is against city code. So I don't care. It's my part. So I'm going to...
All right, so the little lady in the background you can hear is hanging around with him, okay? She's not with him, but hanging around with him. All right. Now, he is volunteering her to be the complainant. Literally the shit they come up with, people. Pardon my First Amendment. But, I mean, he's literally sitting there volunteering for someone to complain on someone else, to be a complainant, because he cannot be the complainant. All right, let's go.
Need your ID for your citation, sir. So, I'm going to need your ID for your citation. You use the vulgar, profane, and indecent language in view of the public. It's a city citation. It's not arrestable. I'm going to need your ID to issue a civil citation in city court. I'm official.
All right, so right here, when you guys first begin, okay, he is a professional and he is awfully good at what he does, but he's also can afford attorneys to go after these wrongdoers. All right, so and I'm not downing him any at all. You got money stashed up in the bank, more power to you. Love it. That is part of being a free man, right? But what he just did was gave that officer an offer to go ahead and take him to jail. So really, that officer could have taken up on his offer. The officer's not smart enough to realize that, by the way. But he we'll just go with Houston at the moment, right? Gone ahead and consented and volunteered to be arrested, y'all. Stay away from that. Stay away from it. Especially if you do not have the necessary means for the attorney. The courts, even if he decided to press forward on this, the courts would let Houston know that Well, you volunteered. You hand your hand out. You gave him consent to go ahead and take you to jail. You volunteered for this. All right? So be careful of certain things that, us little people do. All right? So don't do that. All right? We're not going to assist in their criminal activities. Okay?
Asking for your ID to write you a citation. I'm not going to take you to jail for a city violation.
Okay, you're
It's
you're
in
here.
City Code 11-302 to use vulgar, profane, and indecent language in view of the public, which is what you just did, and I'm going to issue you a citation for that. So I would like to see your ID so that I can...
You have no complaint, and
He's right. No complainant at this particular time because the complainant says there's not going to be a complainant. Okay? And there must be an affidavit. Lawfully, there must be an affidavit. Now, she can make a complaint with this officer, and he'll do whatever he does. But lawfully, she would actually have to go down to the courthouse and make a affidavit under penalty of perjury of this complaint of what this man did on his free speech. Okay. I'm sorry. Some of these things are just really ridiculously funny on my behalf. That is actually the correct due process involved in this situation, but they have a tendency to bypass the due process part, right? And because we don't know, and we stay in silence and acquiescence and tacit agree to our lack of knowledge or research, we just assume everything they're saying is true and correct, right? Number 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, whatever number I'm on, right? Now they're going by city codes. That is what? Bylaw, okay? Bylaws cannot override the Constitution. It can't even override the state laws. But it definitely cannot override the state constitution and or the federal constitution. So this right here, due to free speech with the First Amendment and whatever your state particular says on free speech, mine would be Turner versus Driver, which is case law for the Fifth Circuit. However, there is first speech in your states. So, it cannot violate that. Therefore, whether she's a complainant or not, he has not broken any lawful laws. Now, he's broken statutes, rules, regulations, and statutes, mainly the oh shit, what is that? I call it a bypass law, right? Ordinance rules against the people, ordinances, and all that. And when the ordinance is true and correct by the American jurisprudence, is jurisprudence. Member of corporation. These people are not a member of corporation as they stand right at present. My president, by the way. Now he probably made money and eventually he became a corporation, but that's neither here nor there. All right, let's go. Sorry.
Police officer,
Yes,
you
sir,
can't.
we were called here. Yes, we
You
were.
have no complaint
sir.
for a disorderly conduct charge.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You're a part of the public.
You can't be a complainant, okay?
So I'm
Be as a
asking
police
for your
officer.
ID as you're in violation of City Code 11-302.
As a police
vulgar
officer.
and profane and decent language in view of the public. It's City Code. I'm a municipal police officer for the City of Oak Ridge, and I'm asking for your ID so that I can issue a citation or warning for that statute. I'm not going to take you to jail for a civil statute. I can't. But I can issue a citation to get...
All right, so let's nitpick this a little bit, right? He cannot take the guy to jail over this statute. Number 1, can they really confirm that he entered this contract or this bypass law, the ordinance, right? But number 2, if he goes to jail, it's going to be the failure to ID part. Which, again, y'all, there's no complainant. Okay? So, this is how officers actually, and you, get tricked. You seem to think this actually applies to you. And again, don't do what he's doing, right? Especially when you're new and you don't have the means for a really good attorney. All right? Do not volunteer or give consent to be arrested, please. Okay? He can afford it and he's the best at it, but don't do it. Do not assist in their criminal activities, people. You want that to be your advantage when you make a claim as a man, okay? Not as a person. Now, this guy here in Houston, he don't mind being a person. He's got good attorneys and all that to cover his person, okay? But I don't have good attorneys, so I need to stay within my realm as a man, okay? Where I can make a claim and go after these people under 28 U.S.C. 1331, and he's not going to be the defendant. He's going to be the wrongdoer on my paperwork, by the way. There's no such thing as defendant or plaintiff when you're a man or a woman, right? The plaintiff is going to be changed into complainant. Okay, I'm going to be the complainant. I'm making a claim. All right. We don't bitch, moan, and complain. We're men and women, right? We stand on the rights, inalienable rights. We're not subject to these corporate bylaws. All right, let's go.
You'll find. So I'm requesting your state-issued ID, which I will remind you is not your property. It's actually property of the state of Tennessee. It's issued to you for identification.
There you go. Talked about this a little bit ago on a couple of other videos back, right? Telling you that the birth certificate's not yours, your social security number's not yours, your driver's license not yours. This officer confirmed, right? Even though he's ignorant of the law, he got this correct, right? That driver's license is not yours. Now, let's check this out. As a man, did the state of Texas force me into some type of contract or force me into buying a product that I necessarily do not want, that they lawfully cannot force you to do? Sit and think about these things, right? They're making these laws and these rules and regulations and statutes and codes to violate your rights, force you into something they cannot lawfully, constitutionally force you to do. All right? I am a man. I have a right to contract or not to contract. As a man, I also have a right, not a privilege, a right to deny forking out my hard-earned labor for the state's benefit, right? The license, the ID for them to start a court case on you, that's the reason why this is an addict. This officer is an addict, because they need that ID to put on file to start opening a case on you. Why? They want that person, not you, right? You can give your name all day and they'll just go by it, but when they type it in the computer, it's going to be all in caps. It's going to be transferred into the person, right? So you're going to be held responsible for the person.
Purposes by law enforcement if there's a violation, which there has been.
Okay. Am I being detained?
Yes.
All right. At this time, I'm going to revoke my right to remain silent.
Okay, that's fine. You're not free to leave until we find out what's going on.
All right.
Alrighty. Simple version, right? If you want to check out the whole video, which is awesome. He's always awesome. All right. This one is going to be the police control. You can look him up on News Now Houston or News Now Community. Okay. The guy is behind this camera. Okay. I recognize his voice anywhere. Right. This is just my opinion. And it's an educational video. Okay. If you are confident enough to do as I say, just remember, you are responsible for yourselves. Nobody is responsible for you. Okay? Always take that to the bank. Okay? Quit complaining about somebody else being responsible for you when you are responsible for yourself. This is We the People News. Bye, y'all.